knocking me out of the way. So do you see what I mean? That kind of clarifies that on the observation. So the last part of the process is because nonviolent communication or compassionate communication is about connecting with others and meeting other people's needs, meeting my need and then meeting yours. So it's about being in touch with what's going on with me, and when I'm in connection with you, it's about being in touch with what's going on in you. And so the fourth component is request, meaning a request versus a demand. So if I want to know if you want to, I don't know, if you want to go shopping, I would say, well, do you want to go shopping versus you have to go shopping? And so that might work better to show you with Savannah, which we're going to role play for you to kind of give you an idea of how it works in our family. So there's a big difference in me saying, Savannah, get up here and clean up your room, versus would you be willing to clean up your room? So, and it might be, so I'll just show you an old version of Susanna. Get down here and clean up all this mess in the kitchen and all these things laid around the house. Oh my gosh, it's such a mess. You're such a messy person. You know, trash up the house. You don't care. You're inconsiderate. And I'm just pissed off. Can you relate to maybe that kind of language that maybe was in your home growing up? Or so maybe the way it might sound now is, Savannah, when I walk through the house and I see your pants laying on the on the couch and your jacket here and your shoes here, I'm feeling a little anxious because I really, really love beauty. And I love it when our house is cleaned up. It makes me have a sense of order. And I'm wondering if you'd be willing to pick up these things. And you might be thinking, what if she says no? And she does, sometimes. And what I want to tell you about this language, it's about connection. So, of course, as people on the bus and in our homes, we have to get things done. But the belief and what I've experienced from the deepest level, that when I first put the connection with you to let you know I really care and what's going on with you, because maybe Savannah says no, and then I stop and say, well, what's going on with you right now? Well, I'm stressed out about school, my girlfriend's mad, and so I'm feeling kind of chaotic. And I'm like, oh, I see, you're feeling overwhelmed and you're needing some consideration. Wow, I'm wondering how we could talk about this, that I could care for you and you could help me have a sense of order. So that's kind of the overview of compassionate communications and how it's usually an observation, what I'm seeing or hearing, or could take in a video camera without evaluations, kind of separating those two. About what I'm feeling and what it is I'm valuing, or what I want, or what I wish, or what I dream for. And I'm sure you've all heard about not focusing on what you don't want. This is what this language does. It helps me focus on what I do want. And I just went to this workshop that was about a week long called The Beauty of the Need. When I can take what I want, what I wish, what I dream for, and invite you into that, versus go at it what I don't want, or criticism, or complaining, or judging, or blaming, it invites this whole new energy into my life. And if you can't meet that beautiful need that I'm thinking is so beautiful, then it opens up to new possibilities of how I might get that need met. So what I'd like to do now, I want to give you a moment to kind of think of maybe a scenario where maybe someone's irritated you. And we talked about role-playing, like if you're on a trip, things you get irritated about, or you could think of something for your family. And I'd like to show you, think of that irritation and the judgment that you have, and then maybe we can kind of transform that into what needs you're trying to meet and why you sort of have that judgment. So Savannah and I have a role play. We tried to choose one that you would enjoy. So we thought Oh, we forgot to introduce one of our favorite characters, Savannah's favorite. She's smiling. So, when we're talking in compassionate communications, it's life is wonderful, we're connecting, but what are we doing when we're not talking in compassionate ways? So we have a friend to help us out on that.
Alright, everybody. You guys wanna know who the second character is?
Yeah.
His name is Jackal.
Jackal!
He's the one who doesn't see the big picture. He sees me and you are getting in an argument right now, and he's judgmental. He labeled everybody, says, you shouldn't be doing that. Or, you should be doing this, not that. He's the one who said, if you do that, then this is what's gonna happen. And I'm not saying good. He'll compare. She does that, but why can't I do that? She does it. Her mom doesn't do that. And it's all her fault. I didn't do anything. I was just sitting here. I was sitting here watching. She did it all. It's all her fault. And these are just some things he might say. She talks too much. She gets on my nerves. I wish she'd stop. She's such a bore. He's so selfish. You're insensitive. She is so unaware of her surroundings. She doesn't understand. And he would blame, he would say, it's all her fault that she doesn't learn anything. I'm just a teacher. I don't know. She's talking, so it's her fault she doesn't learn, not mine. And maybe I was like, she never shuts up. She never just lets me talk. She just never does. Maybe during teachers, which I had to do during lectures, she talks too much. I wish they'd just stop and let us do homework. Maybe we'd get something done. Yeah. This is my favorite character play in the role play. It's really fun. Isn't he so cute though? Let's just stick his tongue out too. Watch, I'll show you.
So, one thing I want you to know about jackal language is about blaming and shaming and labeling. So we don't not do jackal language. We don't criticize the jackal because then we're jackaling the jackal. The jackal's very, very valuable to us because it lets us know that there's a need of ours that is not being met. And so he gives us a clue. And with Savannah and I now, instead of kind of going into blaming and shaming and criticizing, we might just say, hey, I am having a jackal show right now and I'm just ready to let it rip. So it's about being conscious of what's going on inside of you. So if you're blaming someone and you're shaming them, at least you're having self-responsibility about blaming and shaming. So that makes such a big difference in our relationship, that we're consciously aware of what we're doing and how we're communicating with each other. And so here's a scenario that we had just last weekend. So what we thought we would do is do it the jackal version and then maybe a compassionate version. So we'll